Loner. Chapter 1. You used to attend Inarizaki High School. You had to move because your mom got hired into a new company, but it was way too far from your previous school, so your mom decided to sign you into Itachiyama. Past story. 3 years ago, your dad passed away from a horrific car crash. He was drunk. When you found out these terrible things, you became quiet. The sound of sirens ringing keeps playing in your head. None of your friends from Inarizaki heard you talk ever since. You still can't get over your father's death. He meant the world to you. Present time. And there you are, standing in front of your new school. You rushed inside to look for the principal's office, not wanting to talk or look at anyone. Your eyes were facing the ground, not wanting anyone to notice you, and your bangs covered your eyes, until you bumped into someone, and the books that you were carrying in your hands fell. You looked up to see who that person was, and noticed he had brown hair and black eyes. He was a little taller than you. He quickly picked up your books and introduced himself. Hi, I'm Komori Motoya. Are you new here? I haven't seen you before, he says in a cheerful tone. You nod as a reply and stay quiet in a mumble. I'm Ryan, Ellen. Komori's POV. I noticed that she's really quiet, and she doesn't seem to like talking to many people. Chapter 2. Komori's POV. I took her to the principal's office and waited outside the door. Ryan's POV. I gave Komori my schedule, and he told me to follow him since we had the first class together. I entered the class, and it caught everyone's attention. Eyes were staring at me, and whispers could be heard. Komori faced me and said, "Hey, it's okay, don't be nervous." It was a whisper, but still loud enough for me to hear. I nodded in response and sat at the back in what I thought was an empty seat. I sat and looked at the ground, not wanting to talk or look at anyone. Sasuke's POV. When I entered the class, I saw someone sitting next to my seat, which made me scrunch my nose in disgust. I walk up to her. Excuse me, but this is my seat, I say bluntly. She did not reply. She got up and nodded. Wine's POV. After the seaweed head told me to get up, I was looking for a seat. And there it goes, everyone staring at me again, until I saw Komori giving me a hand to come and sit next to him. So I sat next to him, and the seaweed head kept looking at me, which made me nervous. Komori noticed and was about to ask him about it until the teacher came into the class. Hello students, sorry I'm late. We have a new student. Could you please introduce yourself? I shake my head no, and mumble quietly, no, which made the teacher upset. He then said, "Can you not talk?" I didn't reply, and I went back to my seat, which made people confused on how the teacher didn't send me to the principal's office. You were actually really smart, just not talkative, so you finished the problem easily while others struggle a little. Chapter 3. Ryan's POV. After a few classes, which were really annoying, since the teacher forced me to introduce myself, I got really nervous easily, and still can't focus, while other people stare at me, raise their voice at me, or even give the slightest whispers, make me overthink myself. I thought as tears began dripping down my face. Suddenly I bumped into a guy from my first class. He was wearing a mask again, which made me assume as if he was sick. I mumbled down a "sorry" and start running, not knowing where I'd end up. I was just heading to my locker, then suddenly someone bumps into me, which made me uncomfortable, but then I realized she was crying. Then soon enough, after standing frozen in our grounds, looking at each other, she mumbles out a "sorry," and just ran off until I had no longer any sight of her. I stood frozen until I went to chase her, not caring about my germophobia. Then it hit me. Why am I doing this? Just the amount of germs she could be carrying, and I decide to follow her? My thoughts made me nervous, so I eventually stopped and headed back to the cafeteria since it was lunch. Lion's POV. I stopped running to see myself outside at the back of the school. I grab out my phone and text out Sumu. He was my only friend I could trust. I miss going to Inurizaki. I felt safe there. It's my first day and everything already sucks. Hey, Tsum Tsum. Why ain't you rat? About time you texted me. Hazi Tachiyama, have you met Omi-kun yet? Atsumu, chill out. It's my first day and it already sucks. The teachers forced me to introduce myself, which I did, in a mumble of course. Ryan, it's okay, you're doing fine. Look, I'll come over on the weekend, okay? Thank you, Sumu. I would love that. And who's Omi-kun? Of course, you dumb rat, I'll come over. Oh, his name is Sakusa. He wears a mask and has black curly hair. I'm sure you must have run into him or something. Oh, seaweed hair. Seaweed hair? Please, what? Sumi? My last class starts in 10 minutes and I'm kinda lost. Did you get nervous and run off again? Ha ha ha. You're literally unbelievable. Anyway, send me a picture of the place you're in. How the hell did you get to the back of the school? Anyway, just go. Thanks, Sumu. Love you. I gotta text you after my classes. Bye, you dumb rat. Chapter 4. It was the end of your first day at school, and it was pretty frustrating for you. So you decided to go to your local supermarket and grab out some snacks and binge on your favorite show. As you went to the shop, you noticed familiar faces. It was Komori and Sakusa. You just shrugged it off and bought your items. When you were getting your favorite snack, someone grabbed you, which caused both of you to touch each other's hands, which left you both in a blushing mess. You look up to see who the person was, until you recognize it as your classmate Sakusa. He quickly flinches his hand away and sanitizes it, but then mumbles, "Are you feeling better?" You softly smile at him and nod by response. At this point, he was blushing, but thankfully had a mask on, so it was not noticeable. You hand him your favorite snack and proceed to check out your items. He smiles and walks his way to find his cousin, Komori. Chapter 5. It was finally Friday, and you could not wait to go back home since Sumi was going to come over. You were so excited to spend the weekend with him. You walked in your class and turned out you were too early, so you sat in your seat, put your earphones in, and listened to your favorite song. Sakusa's POV. I decided to show up early, because I didn't want to bother with large crowds and the fangirls. I walk in my class and see Komori's friend. I still haven't gotten her name. Maybe she isn't really talkative? Lion's POV. I lifted up my head to see Why must you boys be so hard to see? I lifted up my head to see Sakusa standing at the door. I wave at him and give him a welcoming smile, which I can tell he's blushing. What the hell was that about? What are you doing to me? Sakusa thanks and proceeds to go to his seat. You then decide to ask him if you could sit next to him. Since you guys were kind of getting along, you got up from your seat and walk up to him, standing in front of his seat and mumble, may I please sit next to you? He softly smiles at you and makes up some space. You pull out your phone from your pocket and text Sumu since there was still 5 minutes left until the beginning of your class. Soon enough, people start to enter the class. As you are about to text Sumu, you turn around to Sakusa. and noticed he's very nervous at the amount of people there is. You give him a reassuring smile and hand him some sanitizer that you keep in your pocket. The class just ended. As you wait for the class to empty, you stay as a reassuring friend to Sakusa. You turn around to him and grab his sleeves when he quickly flinches. Oh gosh. You turn around and grab his sleeves, which he quickly flinches away and furrows his eyebrows at you. Don't touch me. Who knows whatever germs you could be carrying right now, he says. You nod and walk out the classroom looking at the ground. Wait, I'm sorry, he says as you stop walking for a second, but before he knew it, you were already gone. You see Komori waiting at the door, who just saw everything. He looks at you and follows, but I thought it was best for you to have some alone time. You messed up, Sakusa. I'm saying his name right, Nii. Sakusa, what the hell was that about? I thought you were getting along, Komori exclaims. I don't know, Komori, I just got overwhelmed and thought of germs. Sakusa replies, well, you better find a way to make it up to her. You know she's a quiet person, and yet you chose to sit next to you, barely knowing you, Komori says as he walks out the room. Sakusa stands up and starts heading out on his way to find YN. As you were walking, you saw Atsumu, who was waiting for you. You quickly ran up to him and jumped into his arms, going for a tight hug. Sakusa's POV. When I finally found YN, she was hugging another person, which made me angry. What is happening to me? Why am I feeling like this? I could be jealous. No way, that's not me. Sakusa Kiyoomi, jealous over a girl. Impossible. But it does hurt to see her in someone else's arms. As you and Atsumu were about to leave, Sakusa comes up to you and mumbles, I'm sorry, I just got overwhelmed by the amount of germs and let out my frustration on you. I'm sorry. You softly smile and place a hand on his shoulder, which made him flinch for a second, then leaving his face red. Wow, Omi-kan, look at you, being nice, Atsumu says. Knock it off, Barry B. Benson, Sakusa says, which makes you giggle a little. You then stood, frozen, noticing what just happened, while Sakusa, on the other hand, is blushing. Okay, I will end it here. Oh my god, my voice. Oh my god, there's literally like 2 chapters, like 30 chapters. Oh my fucking god. Okay, comment down below if you want me to finish this, because I'm gonna go edit this. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was requested by someone in the comments requested this on one of my posts, so yeah. I wanted to talk to you guys about back to school. So I got my schedule today, and I take my school ID picture tomorrow, and then Thursday I go back to school. Yay. So this year I have decided to not do sports. Sorry, this is hard. Since I was in 2nd grade, I've done sports, and every year, I did sports for 8 years in a row, and I'm not doing it this year, so it's kind of hard. But I am doing something else. I am going to try to run for secretary for student council. I know a lot of you saw my post, thank you. And I think that'll give me more time for making videos and instead of doing sports. But the main reason that I'm not doing it is because of my ankle, which yeah, I don't think I'll... okay, yeah. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Anyways, let me know if you guys want me to continue reading this, because I do only have 3 more chapters left. First of all, I've got a question for y'all. What grade are you guys going into? Let me know in the comments down below. Love you all. Kisses. Goodbye, Monomos. Oh my god, I can't say this over here.